It is well past the weekend. We had a big fight on Saturday night. Actually, the whole pay-per-view, the whole undercard as well was really good while it lasted. Actually, so let's start with that. Let's start with the undercard because there's a lot of good potential fights going on there, and fights that I was curious about. Starting with Chocolatito, who made his comeback after getting knocked out. You know, the way he did, I had a lot of questions. Like, man, is this guy gonna bounce back from that? Because you know, some people take it well, they bounce back. Manny Pacquiao's an example of that. He got knocked out to where he looked dead by Juan Manuel Marquez, but hey, he bounced back and he's still fighting even now. Even talks about a rematch with Mayweather and sometime, I don't know when. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But he got his victory. I think it was like in the 5th. He got a knockout win. Or TKO, I think it was knockout. I blinked and it was over. So you had that one. That ended early. I was like, all right, whatever. You still got 2 fights. You got next up, you got David Lemieux and Gary O'Sullivan, and that one's going to be a good slugfest. You know, entertaining for the crowd. Lemieux puts him out in the first round, and I blinked. I turned away. I blinked and boom! I just hear the crowd go crazy. I look over and I see Sullivan on the floor. Ref calls it. I'm like, dang, that ended quick. All right, on to the next fight. You got Jaime Munguia. He finishes his dude like in the 3rd round. And I'm like, okay, guys, great, awesome knockouts. I mean, glad you guys got your win. Kind of wish it would have stretched out a little bit more. You know, paying for the pay-per-view. These things ain't free. I'm not the one getting the millions. But it is what it is. So I think altogether it was like 9 rounds with. If you group all the undercard fights together, 9 rounds worth of boxing in the undercard. Which means they had an hour and a half, I believe, to kill before the main event. I mean, it ended way earlier than anyone thought. So you had about an hour to kill. These guys had time to go take a shower, get their suit, do their hair or whatever, get cut taken care of, and go watch the main event after. Maybe even get like a snack, and then go watch the main event. And anyways, so on to the main event. Canelo versus Gennady 2. Easy candidate for fight of the year, as far as I'm concerned. I think both guys dug deep down. It was a back and forth fight. It was really close. Anyone who says Canelo dominated Gennady or Gennady dominated Canelo, you're blind, biased, and you weren't watching the fight. I don't know what fight you were watching if you thought either guy dominated the other. You don't dominate a guy by going tooth and nail with him and then looking like you're spitting through hell and back by the end of the fight. No, it don't work that way. What did I think of it? I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good fight. Good effort from both guys. Now I know there's a lot of biased people from the Canelo side. You got all the bandwagon ones that are jumping on that bandwagon again. Then you got the groupies on this side, and it is what it is. It was a really close fight, and Canelo got the win. He got the nod. Can you dispute that? No. I mean, you can't dispute. It could have been for Gennady. It could have been Canelo. It could have been a draw, and you couldn't dispute any one of those choices. It was that close and that good of a fight. The first fight, obviously, a lot of people, even me, thought, hey, that should have been for Gennady, but it is what it is. It's freaking boxing. Unfortunately, it's a sport. They'll most likely have a 3rd one next September. They'll wait until next September, and because it makes a lot of money, generates a lot of money. And but yeah, I mean, it was a damn close fight. First half, I give it like Canelo for the most part. Second half, mostly Gennady. Either way, it was a win-win for the fans. For those who love boxing, it was mixed emotions after that, mixed thoughts. A lot of people thought Gennady got robbed. I don't think he got robbed, but I do think it was a draw. That 12th round, I give it the Golovkin on that one. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's Canelo got that." I was like, "Nah, I think Gennady got the best of that one." But a draw, I think this was a draw. The last fight was not a draw. By no stretch of the imagination was that a draw. This one definitely was a draw, but. Like I said, either guy won. Now, for the people that are saying that Gennady got robbed, he didn't get robbed. Look, here's the deal about it. The way I see it, they waited 2 years to make the fight with you, right? You finally get the fight after waiting for so long. And what happens? You get a draw out of it. Even though you were on top of him, you were making him bet. He was going back and not even swinging. So you were chasing him. A lot of the world thought you won. A lot of boxers thought you won. A lot of analysts or whatever thought you won. A lot of fans thought you won. Whatever. But you got to draw off of that. So going in this one, I don't know what made you think that it was a smart choice to take it to the cards. If you wanted a definite win, you had to knock him out. Now, Canelo doesn't have a freaking marshmallow glass jaw like Amir Khan. And that's one thing to note. The kid got the chin. You're taking shots from this guy, and you're still standing. So, but yeah, if you wanted to win, if Gennady really wanted to win, he had to go for a knockout. Because, and you know, you can say whatever you want. I don't fall for BS, and I call it down the middle on this. If you go to the cards for Canelo, you're not winning. It doesn't matter if you dominate the guy. If you look spectacular, to tell you, it all started with Floyd Mayweather. Whoever thought that it was a close fight, you need to slap yourself and stop watching boxing. Floyd outboxed his kid for 12 rounds, and the kid still got one judge to see it as a draw. I mean, right off the bat there, I say, oh, dang, that's kind of sketchy. Gennady Lara had another judge with some outrageous scorecard there. Same thing with Cotto. It's a pattern. Big name fights, he'll get the nod. If he's the bigger name. Obviously against Floyd, he wasn't a bigger name. There's no bigger name than Floyd. Let's get straight right off the bat. But any close decision, of course the big name's the guy that brings in the millions is gonna get it. Unfortunately, that's how it is nowadays. It's a business. We get that. It's a multi-million-dollar business, and the big name that brings in the millions is gonna get the nod, especially in his home city where he normally fights. I'm not saying that's Canelo's home. I'm just saying that's where he fights all the time. I mean, I remember the last time he fought in Dallas, but so you being the champion, it don't matter if you took it to him. That's Canelo. He got the bigger name. He got he brings in the millions to Vegas. You're gonna get a draw on that. Best believe you better not leave it to the judges in the next one. So you got what you deserve. And I don't want to hear crying that he got robbed. None of that. It was a close fight. Could have gone either way. I thought it was a draw. That one was a draw. So now, and as far as the Canelo fans on that side, I don't want to hear that your boy dominated this and you calling this guy a bum. If you're calling this guy a bum, then what are you celebrating about? What's there to celebrate? Because if you're thinking that if you're calling Gennady a bum, then why are you celebrating a guy for beating a bum? It's that simple. And let's note, this 36-year-old bum, if you're struggling like that, having to go 12 rounds, you can't knock this bum out? I mean, come on, it just taints the win. It was a good, valiant effort from both men. They dug deep down inside. A lot of people saying, well, Canelo was the aggressor, this and that. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to say that he dominated because he was aggressive, then by that same logic, Gennady should have won the last fight because he was the aggressor. See what I'm saying? I've heard a lot of stupid comments, a lot of stupid ideas. Robert Garcia talking about like, oh no, Canelo was the aggressor. He was coming forward. I mean, if I go up on a guy and I go forward, I look like the aggressor. But if I'm eating jabs the whole time, I mean, come on. I eat like 3 jabs. I land 1 power punch to the gut. It's still not a good look. I'm still making it to where it's going to be a close fight. On the other hand, in the first fight, Gennady was the aggressor and landing jabs. Canelo was backing up, but he was eating jabs. How does that work? So by Robert Garcia's own logic, all right, this fool's the aggressor. He should have won then. And then he goes on to say, well, the more aggressor one wins in Vegas. Like, no, fool. Let's calm down with that. The bigger name that brings in the millions gets the win in Vegas on the scorecards. Let's get that right off the bat. This kid still is only 28? He's gonna be racking up millions still in Vegas. So of course, that's why I felt it's like, nah, I already said that right off the bat. Go to the scorecard. I already know who's gonna win. Now, no one's expecting the fight to go that way. Like, I'm not talking about the win. I'm not talking about Canelo win. I'm talking about the back and forth. On one side you had Gennady letting Canelo come forward. A lot of people say, oh no, he wasn't letting. Like, look, it was a different strategy. It was not to say, you're getting this kid pissy and mad so he can come forward, and you're going to capitalize on that with jabs. Was not to say that, right? Now, I'm assuming that, I want to say maybe that was his idea. I'll let him swing and tire himself out trying to knock me out, But Gennady wasn't expecting to get, hit in the body that much. By the fourth round, you could tell this guy was breathing hard. But by the fifth round, you saw Canelo, classic Canelo, vintage Canelo, gassing out too. And it's like, okay, now you exhausted this dude, but you're here with body shots, left and right, and you're breathing hard now. So from the fifth on, both of these guys were in a whole different zone. And it's like, it was just back and forth. One guy, able on one hand, telling it's like, hey, dude, this guy's, throwing all kinds of shots. You need to go out there and, get on him. On the other corner, you're like, hey, you can't knock this fool out, but you got to beat him. Box smart. And both guys are just like, if one was throwing a nasty uppercut, the other one was coming with a nasty hook, then the other one coming, it was just a back and forth brawl. Now, you take everything, all the BS, all the sides that say, oh, this guy did this and that, this guy was a bum. You take all that crap aside, you look at it for what it is. That was a good fight, and definitely a candidate for Fight of the Year. Another one was Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. I thought that was a candidate. I felt that was a really damn good fight too. So, I mean, my thoughts, it was a draw. Not mad with the decision. I mean, it was that close. It was that close. A lot of boxers have their opinions. Some thought Gennady won. Some thought Canelo was okay with the win. I think ringside analysts or whatever had 32 for thought Golovkin won. 2 thought Canelo won. 15 had it for a draw. I don't know. It's the way I see it. It's over. It's done. Canelo has the win. Will we see a third? Most likely. There's a lot of money involved. Will it be anytime soon? Hell no. They're gonna wait till this guy gets older. He was another year older. I mean, by then it's you're not fighting the best of this dude, but it's gonna be easy money. Canelo's gonna win that one easier. I think now they're talking about Lemieux, because I didn't know about this, but I guess the winner of David Lemieux and Sullivan was gonna be a mandatory for one of the belts that Canelo has right now. And Lemieux's already on Twitter talking about, let's make this happen in December. So I'm like, man, if they're gonna go any route, they're gonna bypass Charlo for sure, and they're gonna go for Lemieux, and they're gonna get an easy win, because a lot of people are saying, even Canelo's trainer Chepo, he's like, oh, Gennady's a stupid donkey. It just comes forward. It's like, no, if you think that's all he does, and you thought that he wasn't slipping punches, he wasn't, he didn't have head movement, he didn't have a defense. If you think that Gennady's a one-trick pony, like I said back when I said a moment ago, you call him a bum, then there's really nothing to brag about if you beat a one-trick pony. And if you thought he was a one-trick pony, you really need to slap yourself, stop watching boxing, because if you pay attention, this guy was slipping, making Canelo mess and slipping punches and all that. Lemieux, on the other hand, that fool is a one-trick pony. That's going to be easy pickings for Canelo right there. That's an easy win. Get that dude out of the way. I mean, if Gennady beat that guy with a simple jab and some body shots, Canelo's going to outbox this dude, just like Billy Joe Saunders did. So, Lemieux's an easy pick. That guy is a one-trick pony. He comes forward and starts swinging, and he hopes to God he'll knock you out like he did Sullivan. That's all he really got going. I mean, he can't box, really. He's fun. He's entertaining to watch, but that's about as far as that goes. Anyways, really good fight. Friends, family over, good food, good times. Great night of boxing, great fight for boxing. If you want to give your thoughts on the fight, go ahead and do so in the comment section. Like I said, it is what it is. I don't really care about the decision. I don't care, I'm going to sit there and talk about, oh, this fool got robbed, or oh, no, this. It's over and done with. It was just a damn good fight. So that's all I got for you guys. You guys have a good rest of the day, and until the next video.